everyone, it's Neil with Wildfox Woodworks, and on today's tutorial we're going to show you how to make Yard Yahtzee. Yard Yahtzee is very customizable, as in what drill you use to make the holes, what colors you use to stain, what colors you use to paint the dots afterwards. But no matter where you're going to go with it, it's always got to start the same with your square blocks. So what we have here is a 4x4. The 4x4s that you get in the store are not actually 4 inches by 4 inches. They're 3.5 by 3.5. So in order to make a square dice, you need to measure 3.5 inches. Now first, when these come from the stores, the ends are completely busted, and so it's very important to make a fresh cut. Now that you get your fresh cut, measure 3.5 inches. Now you've got your measure at 3.5 inches, we're just going to cut dice. So we've got our first dice here. Now you need 5 if you're going to play Yahtzee, and you need 6 if you're going to play Farkle. So however you're going to play, or if you're going to make extras for friends, cut up the whole piece, but you're going to need at least 5. Once we're done here, we'll go over and we'll sand each of these down. So now we got to sand each of our blocks. You don't have to, but I think that it absorbs the stain better, and it's a much nicer finish if you do sand it. It just takes a little bit extra time, but it's definitely worth it. I'm using a belt sander with 220 grit paper. I have it hooked up to my vacuum, and what we'll do is we'll sand each of these down. My wife prefers to have all the edges rounded just a little bit, so that's what you'll see me do here. That's all it takes, just a little bit of sanding on each edge, a little bit on each side. What you get is a nice sanded finished project with the sanded off edges. Okay, now that you have all of your Yahtzee pieces cut, sanded, it's time to stain. I use just a standard wood stain, a Varathane. Comes in all different colors, whichever you choose you can have. Black cherry, aqua, Cabernet, light walnut, dark walnut, weathered gray. What you want to do is shake this up, stir it up. Pop the lid. This is, what is this? This one's black cherry that we're going to do today. The dunk. What you want to do is cover the entire surface of the dice. Making sure you have no more bare spots on it. Now I'll usually do 5, 6 dice at a time, so I'll set this aside, let it dry, finish 5 or 6. By the time I'm done with the 5th or 6th, this has had enough time to absorb all the stain. You come back and you wipe off all the excess stain. That way you get a nice smooth finish. Now you've got your stained Yahtzee piece, or yard dice, whatever you want to call them now, and we'll let them dry for a couple hours. I usually let mine just sit overnight, and then we got to come back and we got to mark them for getting ready to put our dots on. So we've let our die dry and let the stain set overnight. What we have to do is mark all the spaces that we're going to drill out with our drill press. So 1 through 6 on each of the sides. To make it simple and everything symmetrical, I've made 3.5 by 3.5 cards with each number and each dot location measured exactly. You can freehand it, but obviously it won't be as exact. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the 1 and the 6 on the top and the bottom. That's the easiest way to drill these holes out. So 6 on the top, 1 on the top, then on the sides, 5, 4, 2, 3. Five, 4, 2, 3. Now that you have your marks on each of the die, it's time to go to the drill press and drill them out. Alright, so now that we have our Yahtzee piece all stained, marked, put some marks on a clear side so you can see how it's going to look. We're going to use our drill press. We've got a hex bit here, and what we're going to do is put our laser directly over the dot, and we're going to put it down until it starts to burn the hole. What it's going to look like. Still got wood in the center, and it's burnt around the side. So we're going to do that to all the holes. This is what it's going to look like on the stain side. We're going to do each side, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the underside. And then it's time to paint the holes. Right, so using our sample again, we've now got our holes drilled out around the outside, but they're a little bit hard to see if you don't change the dot color. Any color you want, your heart's desire. I use black on almost all of my dots. I think it looks the best. Just use a small paintbrush, black paint, and we just fill in the dots so they stand out just a little bit more. I'm just using a normal interior black paint, nothing special. You can see the final product here. Lots of different colors. Now that your dice are done, it's time to get our Yahtzee cards made up. Okay, now that your dice are finished, it was time to make a score sheet. So go online, look up a Yahtzee score sheet, print one out. What we did was we laminated ours. We laminated it so if it drops in the grass, if it gets wet, not a problem. Dry erase marker. Keep track of your game. Keep track of your game when you're done. Wipe it off. Keep it with the dice, and you're good to go anytime during the summer. So now that you have your final product, you're ready to play. This is only one way to make the dice. They're so customizable. Put a different drill in your drill press, get a different symbol, different paints, different stains. The choice is yours. If you like this tutorial, friend us on Facebook, go to our website, check that out. The link's going to be somewhere here around this box. And I'll keep putting out tutorials. Like I said, this is a hobby for me. It's not a full-time business, so I'd rather have people make these items if they don't want to spend the money purchasing them so that they can have fun with their family. So, again, this is Neil with Wildfox Woodworks. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time.